Hey there, welcome back everyone. Fantastic to be back online again today. Yesterday was really cool, just getting in there and trying out this new streaming platform. And yeah, it was cool and we had a lot of fun. So good evening here. Donald, welcome back. Electronics Nut and Car Nut. Oh, fantastic to have you again here. Donald and Florida. What time is it in Florida this evening? Great to have you on board again. Fantastic. Now, just basically, it's just such fun. Yesterday, we had heaps of fun. We started talking all about NAS, network attached storage. And from there, it seems to have gone down a bit of a rabbit hole. I must admit, we had so much cool advice from everyone out there. I've been doing a bit of research, and we might even be having a surprise guest joining us today. I'm not sure. I did have a chat with him earlier. He's a bit of a home network specialist. So, yeah, let's hope. Oh, fantastic. Kiwi Chocoholic, welcome. You're back too. Great to have you on board again. And, of course, we've got Johnny. Welcome, Johnny. Great to have you here. 2300, 11 o'clock in Europe you are, aren't you, Johnny? Just remind me where in Europe you are again. I've got an absolutely shocking memory. Donald, 6 p.m. in, where are you, Florida? Yeah, oh, fantastic. So we've got people from all over the world. It's just great fun to have you guys all with us here today. Now, today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things. I am keen to talk more about the whole network attached storage, and the network attached storage has sort of led on to the whole home networking side of things, because just to give you a bit of feedback, I've been playing around with Home Assistant for about 4 years now. I super enjoy building my own sensors using ESP Home and ESP32. I've enjoyed getting to the level I am now with having my Home Assistant running on a IBM ThinkPad mini PC. That's been really cool. I've literally just attached a SSD to my router. That's my first little storage device that I've attached, but I'm keen to get down the NAS path. So yeah, I might be having a guest on today. We'll see if he pops up. His name is Hill. But anyway, in the meantime, what we're going to start chatting about is a couple of things around Home Assistant. So what I'm going to do is just share my screen with you. Hopefully this is going to work. We're going to add this into the scene there. There we go. Fantastic. That is working. Now, Donald says, good memory. You remembered Florida. No, I looked up on the stream of comments. But I'll take that as a winner anyway. Thank you for that. All right. Now, what I thought today would be really cool is just to have a look at a couple of things within my Home Assistant, just to give you guys a couple of ideas about what I'm doing, and yeah, just the way that I've set my Home Assistant up. Maybe it helps you. I'm really interested to hear what you guys are running. So currently I've got 10 add-ons running in my system. Okay, and these are the ones that I've been using so far. There's a couple that have come and gone with time, but these are my sort of core 10 at the moment that I'm using. So please let me know from your side. First one I've got here is the ESP Home Device Builder. Now, I'm not sure if all of you are, or how many of you are playing around with ESP Home, but this for me has been one of the most fantastic pieces of software that I've ever found. I'm so happy that Home Assistant actually bought ESP Home into their under their wing, because it's just such a cool thing. So if you're not aware of ESP Home, or you don't know how it works, ESP Home is basically a program that you can flash ESP32s. Do I have any ESP32s lying around? No boards, but they're inside of every single IoT device, these ESP32s. It's a microcontroller. You can buy it for a couple of dollars from AliExpress or whatever. And what you can do is you can create a bit of software inside of your Home Assistant, inside of ESP Home Device Builder. to connect to any sensors, relays, whatever you want to do. And basically you go into the ESP Home website, and you basically download you copy the YAML code, put it into ESP Home, you plug the device in using a cable, and then you flash the software, and then you wire in the sensors or the relays or whatever it is. So simple, and it's just amazing. So yeah, I'm keen to do some more stuff. I recently got a 3D printer over here, a real basic one, but I've enjoyed building ESP32s along with the boxes using my 3D printer. So ESP Home, just one of my best add-ons, and I would really recommend to anyone out there that you try ESP Home, give it a bash, see how it works. Okay, Mr. Super Sidewinder, wow, we've got everyone here today. Having a NAS is awesome. Which NAS do you have, Super? Let me know, because I'm on the market for a NAS at the moment. It's a super cool thing to have. The reason I'm looking for a NAS, I'll tell you guys why if you weren't in the stream yesterday. I've got something like 400 videos that I've recorded now for Home Assistant, Simon Says channel, and I've not stored any of them. So they're all on YouTube, but if someone steals my channel, they're all gone. So yeah, I'm looking for a storage device, maybe a 2-bay NAS to get started with, where I can store all of those. The videos are on average about 500. Now, I'm shocking. They're about half a gig. That's it, yeah. It shows you how my mind can treat me. About half a gig each. So, yeah, I need a reasonable amount of storage, probably about a terabyte, and obviously a bit of redundancy in some format. So, yeah, I'm keen to get into a NAS and learn more about it and get started with it. Johnny says, I'm a Synology fan base. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it seems there's all the buzzwords. There's Synology, there's Unify, seem to be sort of the two key ones from what I can see. And then there's all these new ones that are popping up, like Ugreen, for example, has come on my radar. QNAS, we discussed yesterday with Kiwi Chocoholic. So yeah, there's lots of different options. Okay. Super Sidewinder, I built mine using NAS for free. Now Zimgma. NAS. Okay, that's an interesting name. Zimgma. All right, I don't know how to say that, but anyway, that is interesting. So when you say you built it for free, what hardware did you use to flash or to update for that NAS free? Interested to know. Please let me know. Okay. Welcome, Dad Z697061. Dad Z. Awesome. Welcome, Dad Z. Synology as well. I've been using them for 10 years. Just upgraded. I run everything on it. Okay, cool. So another Synology fan. Uniraid is solid too. Wow, we're getting straight into the NAS stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Unraid is solid too. Okay, cool. And of course, Kiwi Chocoholic is the QNAP fan and expert. I'm really interested to learn more about NAS from you, Kiwi. That's going to be fantastic. And Super Sidewinder is saying here, even Open Vault Media works well. Wow, this is just another whole world, this home lab side of things. And I'm hoping to get a guest today. We've got this guy, Hill Phantom. I don't know if any of you follow him. He's got a YouTube channel where he talks about Home Assistant, but he also talks a lot about NAS. And I just watched a super cool video he did explaining about how you set your network up, how you create VLANs within your network, where you've got these little small packaged LANs to keep things, away from talking to things that they don't want to. Excuse my real basic understanding. And yeah, I'm so keen to learn about this because it's just something that I've never really done. Okay, Sidewinder is saying, I used a Dell upgraded to quad core. Cool. I must have a look into this. Johnny is saying, I have 2 Synologies and 1 QNAP. Do not like QNAP GUI though. Okay. So Johnny, Synology, what is it about the GUI that you really like so much on the Synology? Yeah, please let me know. Really interested to know what the differences are. As I was discussing yesterday, for me, it's all about something that is relatively basic to get started with. I did actually, Yeah, I did do a really basic computer course years ago. This is probably 30 years ago. I did some basic networking. I think we're back in the NT server days. That's how far it is going back. But since then, I haven't really done any networking. So yeah, I really need something basic to get me started. A couple of drive NAS, and then, as I say, I want to start building out this home home server, or the not home server, but the home lab, as they call it. So yeah, interesting to hear what you guys have got to say. But yeah, it's a learning curve for me. I want to start building up from scratch and teaching myself to understand how all this networking side of things works. Open Media Vault is the easiest one to set up. Okay, well, that sounds like a good start for me, because I am, super a noob at all of this. Functionality is not well thought through in QNAP. It makes it hard to find stuff. Synology is more like you find stuff where you first look. Okay, interesting. Thanks, Johnny. As I say, I'm open to anything that you guys can suggest to me, because for me, I'm just, as I say, just really trying to learn what is going on with this whole side of things. So yeah, keep it coming. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm just going to hop back in with what I was going with my add-ons, because I'm really keen just to. So file editor, I'm assuming you guys have got either file editor or Studio Code Server. These two are used obviously for editing the YAML code within your Home Assistant. And YAML is not something that I'm any good at all. I just copy stuff and follow tutorials. But yeah, file editor and code server, they both work slightly differently. I think Studio Code Server has some more things for actually telling you when you write YAML code where the errors are and stuff like that. So yeah, I just play around with both of them. Hex, of course, I'm assuming you guys have got Hex. Hex is amazing. This is the Home Assistant community store. Hex for me is just incredible. I've found so many integrations on Hex. I just love it. Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel showing you how to set it up if you haven't run it yet. But Hex is amazing. The things the community is finding out there and is creating is just amazing. And they're just continually uploading them. Yes, sometimes you can have some problems, but overall, I've never had a major problem with any problems with my Hex downloads. Matter server, now this is an interesting one. Matter for me, Matter over Wi-Fi is working pretty well for me on Home Assistant at the moment. I've collected heaps of devices. One thing I do find tricky with Matter is connecting them. First of all, Matter over Wi-Fi seems to work great. But when you want to manage them, so if you want to disconnect and reconnect, that's where it seems to get a bit tricky on Matter over Wi-Fi. Matter over Thread, on the other hand, is pretty challenging for me in Home Assistant. I have tried to set it up with a couple of different devices, and I've never got it to work well. So currently I'm using my Apple HomePod. I do have HomeKit as a sort of a side home automation device running in my home. And I just, like my blinds, they're all Matter over Thread. So I just connect them to HomeKit, and then I go and I share them into Home Assistant, and that seems to work great. For some reason or other, I haven't managed to get a thread border router working effectively in Home Assistant. So let us know what's happening your side, guys. Are you managing to find that working? All right, let's check the comments here. We've got Synology, another Synology fan. Synology is easier to learn. Welcome, Todd. Thanks for joining us today. I love that little photo there. Who is this guy? Just trying to think. Where's that little guy from? Some little alien fella. Tell us where he's from, Todd. I really like with this platform how it actually shows us the pictures of people's little YouTube picture. Kiwi Chocoholic, oh, that's interesting. I don't have the same issue as you with QNAP. Perhaps I've been using it for too long. Wow, okay. We've got a bit of banter going here about everyone has got their own system that they are supporting. Johnny's saying NAS functionality is all about the same for all brands though. Okay, well, that's good to know. So where does the differentiation come? Is it when the other services start getting added in? Because I see that this is a rabbit warren full of stuff to learn. Man, it's like I need to learn this a lot, and I don't know and see. Donald, I like that, Donald. 30 years ago, no, we had moved on from punch cards 30 years ago. IBM punch cards. No, I do remember IBM punch cards. My dad used to work at the University of Witwatersrand back in the 70s, and I remember going along, met this fantastic guy called Don, and he showed me all the old stuff. Remember those original IBMs, and Hewlett Packard was big in those days, man. There were lots of Hewlett Packard computers, I remember. So no, this is 30 years ago, was NT, Windows NT server. Don't know if you remember that one, but no punch cards there. I worked for the phone company when teletype machines were 75 bits per second with an upgrade to 150. Wow. Yeah, totally. Those are the days, hey, man. Johnny is saying, yep, just getting used to QNAP. Okay, Johnny, so you're on QNAP. So, man, Johnny is a legend. You have done some fantastic stuff, Johnny. I really oh, we've got Hill. Welcome. I like that. Let's add Hill in. He's joined us. Can you hear me there, Hill?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, sweet, I can. I'm
Oh,
just
beautiful.
live on the screen here, mate.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going absolutely fantastic, yeah.
I hear you are, there's a rumor you're going to jump into the home labbing space and get into a bit of NAS, huh?
That is exactly the case, Hill. I was convinced yesterday by a crew of people on my live chat yesterday that the whole home networking and lab and NAS and all this, and I watched your awesome video this morning in preparation for today explaining what is it called, NAS and virtual LANs, and man, that was a cool video, mate.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a fun one. It's a great way to silo everything out. I'm surprised you haven't got into it earlier, especially with everything you do on the home assistant side.
Yeah, mate. It's just I got so focused on Home Assistant that yeah, I haven't gone down that route yet. But that's the plan. But yeah, just to introduce you to my audience here, Hill Phantom is a fantastic guy. I've been watching some of his videos. He does home automation. He does home networking. You do those little action cameras, right? I saw you did a video recently about that action camera that's overheating. So Hill's a fantastic dude. It's an honor to have you on board today, mate. Live streaming is cool fun. You'll see I've got an awesome audience here with me today. So yeah, welcome to everyone give Hill a welcome. He's a great guy. And we've got some comments coming in here. I really like to communicate closely with the audience here, Hill.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. So we've got a bit of banter going, Hill. We've got some people that are really into the networking. They're pretty expert. We've got Johnny here. He's saying that his first modem was a 1275. I can see that meme coming to you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Those were the days. I can just hear the sound now.
And then this is Kiwi Chocoholic saying that, yep, I'm an IT original, started on punch cards. So there we go. We've got some people with a huge amount of experience here. Have you played with punch cards at all, Phil?
Nah, I was a little bit before my time. But I've heard the horror stories, and I actually, every once in a while I'll run into an IT administrator that's like, I wish we could go back to those days. So I guess it depends on where you stand on that.
Exactly. We've got another fella here called Todd. I don't know if you can see his little image there. That is Yoda.
Yoda. Gotta love the Yodas, man. The Yodas and the Padawans. I love it. Love them all.
There we go, Hill. Well, Hill, maybe you can give us a bit of an intro into. I was watching that video this morning about your home lab, and yeah, man, just give us a bit of an idea to give you an understanding of what I want to do. I've got 400 videos that I've recorded now. They all sit on YouTube, and I don't have a backup of any of them. So I need a basic NAS to store them. I know, I can see your face because you've heard all the horror stories about people's YouTube channel getting hacked. So I need to start with some basic sort of NAS. Do you want to give me some ideas?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest choice for anyone looking at this is, you need to figure out whether you want to build your own or you want to go proprietary. There's certain advantages and disadvantages for each. I'm kind of on the side of building my own, just because I want that flexibility, right? But if you're going to go out, especially as a beginner, there's nothing wrong with going something like a Synology, or even like I think you mentioned it early on the stream, like a Ugreen NAS that's just kind of hit the marketplace. But again, it's just really where your comfort level is. By going out there and then doing the DIY approach, it's going to give you a deeper understanding, in my opinion. And then I think what you're going to end up venturing into more than likely is doing a lot of self-hosting on that. And just by building it and getting that awareness of the hardware, awareness of the software, I think that's going to serve you better, and it's going to help you as you eventually will stumble, I promise you, into home labbing.
I'm sure. As I say, yesterday it all just started. I think everyone was just in shock horror, as you were now, that I've got all of these videos sitting on YouTube. And I did discover today that if I sign up for YouTube Premium, I can actually download them. So that's cool. I can download them all. At the moment, I've got an SSD just plugged into my router. I only did that a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to start downloading them and putting them on that SSD to start with. But yeah, I really want to just get into something to get started with, mate.
Yeah, totally. And the importance of, replication and backup. A lot of people get those things confused. But, having multiple drives that are going to replicate themselves, especially when you're doing like what we are, you can't lose that data, right? And I'm not someone who really trusts putting all that stuff into the cloud for multiple reasons, my biggest being privacy. But there's a lot of other parts of this that I think would be advantageous for you, especially if you're looking to back up your channel. And that's where it leads into this like application stuff where I'll share with you once you get there. There's a couple different scrapers you can use that will go out and download your videos for you and sync them as soon as you upload them to YouTube. So it's kind of like a hands-off approach. And that's why I really like NAS, is because they're just this more robust enterprise-like, if you will, environment that's going to allow you to do a lot of these automations. I mean, you're on the automation side, now you're going to be able to automate that backup. And that's a really huge advantage to NAS, is my opinion.
Yeah, no, I really like that term when you're saying automate the backup, because just to give everyone a bit of an idea, I'm terrible when it comes to administration, and I'm not a details person. I'm a salesperson by trade. And yeah, I'm learning the technical, but I'm not naturally someone that's organized. So I really like the sound of what you're saying there, the automated backups. I see Johnny's just saying self-hosting is already what we're doing with the HA add-ons. Do you run quite a few add-ons yourself there, Hill?
Yeah, I do. And I'm always looking at new recipes and everything else that drop. I'm watching your channel to check out what you're doing on that part as well. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, once you get wrapped around administrating a server, and just as Johnny said, you're adding in these add-ons, that's just like going to any GitHub repository and pulling it down or pushing it to your server. So I think it's really a great place to start. And he's absolutely spot on. This is kind of where a lot of people, I think, come into the world. There's a lot of different gateways into home labbing, but let's call a home assistant kind of like one of those gateway drugs that'll get you hooked on the home labbing space.
Oh man, I tell you, gateway drug is like, yeah, that's totally what I would call it.
Yeah.
I so clearly remember sort of 4 years or so ago when I first downloaded that first image of Home Assistant onto an SD card, stuck it in that Raspberry Pi 4 and fired it up, and there it was. Isn't it just? It's a cool system, man. I tell you, I was just blown away. I mean, I played with Amazon Alexa and stuff, but that was just nothing. Home Assistant is fantastic. So I'm really excited to dig deeper now and start getting into this. Chocoholic sent me a whole list of things that the QNAS can do. It's just unbelievable when you look at all the things you can do on a NAS, And I was talking to another guy the other day who's just ordered some new NAS that is on a Kickstarter, where it's able to run an LLM model on the NAS itself. Because currently I'm really enjoying the LLMs. I use LLM for my voice is the main things. I really like the fact that when you've got Home Assistant voice running locally, but then you can have the LLM giving it intelligence. So it doesn't just say, I don't understand what you're saying, but it actually tries to figure it out. And I don't like that having to go to the cloud. So what I am looking at as well, I've been working quite closely with Seed Studio. Do you know them, Hill?
Yeah, I'm very close with Seed. Great,
Oh,
great
you are?
company. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to. They're sponsoring me to go over to China next month
What?
for their Maker Fair. So I'll be
No way.
working real closely with Seed, and they're a phenomenal company. Phenomenal.
Oh man, that's so cool. I went to China in December last year. Did I tell you?
No, no,
Yeah, Shenzhen. It's an
that's where
amazing
I'm headed.
place, mate. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I, I'm freaked
I
out a
went
little
in.
bit.
Mate, you'll love it. Eh? Everything is happening there, man. I went to visit Reolink. That was super cool, man. I had a great catch up with Reolink and met some of their people, and yeah, they were just so welcoming, and the amount of technology these guys are coming out with. Eh? So I'm really excited with Seed. I see that they've got a whole lot of little pieces of hardware from like really small, right up to sort of bigger industrial stuff. So, have you tried out any of those hardware devices that Seed is offering for AI?
I have not. They're supposed to be sending me one. I caught your video on the little,
Hmm.
personal speaker, or I think assistant there, which was
Hmm.
phenomenal, by the way.
Thank
But I'm interested in that as well, just because their platform looks quite robust. I'm actually building out a device right now that I'm working on some optical recognition with it, and
you.
I'm probably going to tie back into their backbone. So their platform, I can't remember the name of it offhand, but their AI platform's quite robust, which I like when you're talking about edge devices. So, dumber devices or low power devices on the edge coming back into eventually a hop into a greater ecosystem. And it looks like they've done a pretty good job of what they're building in terms of the AI, as well as that greater AI that you can tie back into from these smaller devices.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you look at, if I watch the Seed Studio website, man, every single day there's like these new devices are popping up. They've got robotic arms and they've got all this AI kit coming on there. It's just amazing, eh? So, and they've been very very helpful. I mean, as I'm being quite upfront with everyone, I'm very non-technical based, and yeah, they've been super helpful. I've jumped online with a couple of their guys, and they've just really helped me to get things running because sometimes I need a bit of help figuring these things out. But I love this community, eh? Isn't it awesome?
Yeah, the maker community, the home labbers, all of us nerds and geeks, it's kind of universal. I mean, you and I are halfway, apart in terms of the world, and we were able to connect. So it's kind of this world of geeks that we speak code, right? And it's like that's universal, and it breaks down a lot of these barriers. And to be given the chance, like you have been given to go to Shenzhen, it just shows you that the power of this community and how tight we are. And I like that a lot of the vendors like Siege, they're not looking for like a movie star. They're looking for people who actually use their stuff. And I really appreciate their approach for certain. I have a question for you though before we get into
Mhm.
that. With the voice edition, I forget what they call it for.
Preview.
Yes, are you tying that back into local LLMs, or are you using something like OpenAI?
Yeah, I've got it connected up to which one am I running on? Yeah, yeah, it's on ChatGPT. Yeah, so it works really cool. I put some basic credits in there. I think I put $20 of credits, and it's been running for months. Doesn't seem to run out of credits. So yeah, it is super cool. Look, there is a bit of a delay, I must admit. It does take maybe 5 seconds or whatever, or 10 seconds, depends on what you ask it and how deep it has to go. But yeah, when it comes back, it's really intelligent. Like I did a short the other day. Just I went to Preview Edition. I said, can you tell me what is wrong with my smart home? And it went in, it looked at all the different devices. It told me which devices were offline. I then asked it, what can you recommend to me? It said to me, well, your humidity sensors are quite high in the kitchen. Maybe you want to run a dehumidifier. It's quite clever, And there's another thing I downloaded recently, which is an AI automation suggester. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a Hex add-on or a Hex integration. Basically, what it does, it once again goes out to AI and it has a look to see at what possible automations it can suggest in your system.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's
It's
that's really neat. I work in a professional side on some of this stuff. It's just a lot of this predictive analysis as well of AI. which is really cool that they're embedding in a lot of big systems, even pre-preventing or pre-predicting issues. So yeah, I'm amazed at how far it's come. And if you ever do get to that point, hosting it locally, I've been blown away by that as well. I find it's faster locally than when I used it hooked
Oh.
up to Chat GPT. As long as you have a decent computer, decent GPU to run some of these models. But a lot of the stuff you want, it doesn't need to be a robust model. So I really think that it's promising for Home Assistant and what they're doing within AI. All around, I can just remember Home Assistant. I mean, even 8, 9 years ago when I first started messing with it, I quickly turned away from it. And now I'm like, my goodness, it's just exploded. And that company and the nonprofit arm in particular, I have a lot of respect for. And I certainly wouldn't want any of my automation being run on any other platform because I've tried some, and I'm sure you have too. And we could both probably share horror stories. And I'm amazed that an open source piece of hardware, in my mind, is best in class when it comes to home automation. That's a beautiful thing.
Well, as you're saying, just talking about that that not-for-profit, I honestly really take my hat off to Paulus because that I think is the most powerful thing that he's actually signed over into. He's put that whole system into place with Nebuchadnezzar, whereby he actually can't sell the IP, which is just amazing because so many guys, they build something great, it starts getting really cool, and then some big corporation buys them up and it just goes absolutely terrible. So yeah, I think that's why a lot of us are so keen on Home Assistant because it's got this self-hosted local control and no one is going to buy us out. So yeah, another automation I did recently was I've got one of the new cameras that I'm testing out from Reolink at the moment in my driveway, and I did another automation where it actually queries the image and it basically reads the number plate. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, stuff that used to reserve for like the police stations only, right? And now we're reading license plates and walking around with cameras on our glasses and everything else. And where it goes remains to be seen. But I've been messing with a lot of AI in a lot of facets of my life. But the other thing about the nice thing about Home Assistant and the nonprofit arm, I mean, I don't know if you were around during COVID and all the stuff that was going on with Raspberry Pi and the foundation,
Yeah.
and now the foundation is publicly traded. So it is nice to see someone like that could have turned this in or sold it to the greedy billionaire class, but has decided to completely protect it. And I'm even wearing an Arduino shirt right now, and they just got
Oh,
purchased.
cool.
So,
Oh, yes, I
yeah, so
see that.
it's just nice to see when you have these people that, in my mind, have just some sense of honor. And I really took issue with the Raspberry Pi founder, Eben Upton, only because he really was ignoring a lot of makers. And to be honest with you, makers are the ones who kind of put them on the map, that in the
Yeah,
education
totally.
space. So I don't get that sense with anyone I've ever, had the pleasure of associating with on the Home Assistant side.
Have you had any contact with any of the guys? So I've been quite chatty with Frank, and Frank actually I made a comment to one of his videos recently. He said he wants to do an interview with me. So that's going to be so cool, man.
That's awesome. That'll be so cool, man. I'll definitely tune in for that. Yeah, keep us
Yeah.
posted on that, man. I'd be very interested in that conversation. And like I said, just nice to see they're putting it back into the community. I did something on a Mastodon, and the CEO responded to me, and I was just
Wow.
kind of blown away by that in general. Just taking the time, and it was on. It, I've been having a lot of trouble with music and voice and AI all working
Mhm.
together inside of Home Assistant. But other than that, there's been some really cool things that I've been able to do. Hook it up to my 3D printer, kind of announces when it's 5 minutes from done. There's just so many different areas that you can go into, and I love hearing stories like you do of like how are people using this. And I'm always
Yeah.
blown away by the different things that people are coming up with. And like you mentioned earlier before I got on, I think the fact that ESP Home, right? And you're building these ESP devices that cost you a couple bucks for homemade sensors. I mean, if you're a nerd, if that doesn't perk your ears up, I don't know what would.
I know, I know. We got a comment here from Donald. I don't know if you can see Donald's cool V8 that he built up there. Can you see that picture?
See it? No.
Oh man, just on the screen there, you got a picture of his V8. Look at that beauty. It's a 1960 something.
Oh,
I'm not
wow,
a
wow,
car
wow.
nut, but look at that, man. That's amazing. So anyway, Donald is saying the only issue I have with AI Home Assistant is that there've been a few videos that explain where your queries end up and are sold to data brokers in a roundabout way. Do you want to answer that, Hill?
That's such a rabbit hole, right? And that's it's one of the reasons I wonder if he could respond back. Is he talking about local, or is he talking about using something like OpenAI, Chat GPT? I hadn't heard of any of your queries leaking out of your a local environment, but let's be honest, if you're using ChatGPT or any of those things, yeah, your stuff's being harvested. It's being harvested by them, and it's being sold to other companies. This is why I got into home labbing, really, because I'm tired of giving away my own metadata, if you will, right, and not being paid for it. And in fact, in some cases, paying for their services, and they're still harvesting your data. So it'd be interesting. I had not heard of any, query leaks or anything on the HA side. But yeah, if he wants to respond a little bit more about that and let us know which part he's talking about, maybe there might be a query leak at. Maybe I could address it. But from my standpoint, especially if you're using local AI, you can keep everything fairly contained.
Yeah, I would agree with you totally. So, Donald, if you want to give us a bit more info there, but yeah, from what I've seen, exactly backs up what you've said, Hill, is that if you are using AI with Home Assistant, you've got two options. Obviously, you've got Nabucasa, which you can connect up, which can run your AI voice processing. And I'm pretty sure that if you're going to Nabucasa, oh, there we go. Yeah, Donald's just come back. So it's as what you said there. It is Open AI Chat GPT. Yep. So that's pretty much exactly what you said, isn't it?
Yeah, that and like you were saying, Nubacasa has a service. I subscribe to it, right, where they will transcribe your voice so then you can get these queries. But if you're really, I can see maybe that could leak because that's where it's pinging their servers. But you can also set up something self-hosted. I think it's called Whisper with the Wyoming protocol. And you can self-host that translation too. So you can really lock this down very tight if you'd like, and then even put it in its own VPN, stuff like that. From my perspective, it always leads back to any of these services. And I'll give you a quick story here, real quick. I was involved with Google, and especially early days of the cloud. And people didn't. They would say, "Hey, you're selling me this workspace platform. It's in the cloud. Is Google harvesting our information?" Well, they're not on the business side because you're paying for it, but on the free side they are. And a lot of people don't realize that free software, you pay for it one way or another. So you got to look at SLAs, right? Or terms of service, licensing and stuff like that, just to make sure you understand, for example, what they're doing with the data. And I haven't looked at Nebu Castle's SLAs or any of that stuff, but it'd be interesting to see. And I can only assume that they're pretty protective.
Yeah, yeah. So Johnny is one of my longtime listeners, and he's saying he bought an NVIDIA Jetson Orin Nano dev board to use local AI. So I think is that one, Johnny, that came from Seed. I think Seed is one of their resellers, or Seed's working closely with NVIDIA, aren't they?
Well, I'm jealous, Johnny. I'm jealous. I
Me
think this
too.
is the way, man. I think that you have, eventually we're gonna have a little Raspberry Pi device that's gonna be in everybody's house that's gonna have their own local AI. It only makes sense. I mean, I remember when you could download Wikipedia, and I was like, I can use all of Wikipedia on a Raspberry Pi and have it, offline. That's amazing. And now we have models, right? That I think everyone's going to eventually be collecting models like you used to collect baseball cards, because this model's good for that and this. But by him having a Jetson, I think this is where it's going. These mini PCs, if you've seen them, they're all headed towards that way. And a lot of them have NAS abilities, plus now have chips that you can do virtualization, and you can also do AI. So I think it's going to go smaller. It's going to go more powerful. And I really do think we're going to see a lot more people having local AI as privacy becomes more important as we move in the future, I think.
So Johnny's saying he waited 4 months for that. So yeah, it just goes to show you the level of demand for these devices, eh?
I try to get my hands on one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that hence the stock price in the video, right? They kind of have a
Yeah, I know.
stranglehold on it right now. So, yeah. And AMD, they just popped off too. But to be frank, AMD just doesn't have the AI chipset yet that they need to, and they've got to jump over some hurdles. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me that he had to wait that long for sure.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's certainly one of my dreams at some stage to get some piece of hardware, load a local LLM so that I can actually process my stuff. I did buy a Google Coral about 3 years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, and that is quite amazing. I hooked up my mini PC to Frigate, and I started processing the feed from one of my cameras. And even on a mini PC, it whacked it up to like 70% processor. I connected it up to that Google Coral and literally brought it down to like 5 or 10%. So it just goes to show you the power of dedicated hardware designed for running these sort of models and the power that it's got, eh?
And that's kind of where we're leading right back to Seed Studio as being a leader in that space.
Yeah.
And what they're doing and putting together blows my mind. I'm really amped to go see what they've got going on over there and see what's up and coming for sure. Because I don't know, I just view them as one of the companies, especially for people that are interested in this. It's not a whole bunch of us, but at least enough to keep them afloat, right? And they're just kind of pushing the boundaries, especially with those edge devices. It's a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. And Johnny's saying it's using way less power as well. Isn't that amazing? So they're getting this processing speed, but also way less power and probably less heat generation and all of these things, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the downfall of like cryptocurrency moving into the AI space, right? Data centers, sure, like we've moved away from mining a lot of major cryptocurrencies with GPUs, but now that GPU has been sucked up by AI, and it's even worse than whatever crypto miners ever did. So yeah, it's definitely a concern of mine. And I'm real happy that they're now starting to develop CPU models that are going to leverage, more CPU threads than something like a GPU thread. We're right around the corner from quantum computing, so it's an interesting time right now for sure. We're kind of on the cusp of breaking through just a whole nother level.
I know. Donald's saying here, I do have the active AI kit hat still in the box, only works on Pi 5. Have you heard of that one, Hill?
Yeah, I have. It's their official AI hat and kit.
Yeah.
I had never played with it, but very similar to your Curl device, a bit more powerful just because it's newer. But a very nice package that they're allowing you just to place that right on as a hat. And again, it just shows to show you kind of where the space is going, especially with Eben Upton and the Raspberry Pi Foundation. They've got their finger on the pulse of what's happening, and their customers as well as their industrial customers and business customers are demanding this type of AI on board so that you can have things like optical recognition happen right there. It doesn't need to push back to something different. And that's what really kind of got me excited years ago, is seeing how much processing we could get out of something so tiny. And that AI active kit is a great learning kind of test bed for sure.
Yeah, no. I see Donald saying, I have the Pi AI kit since they released it and still trying to figure out if I want to upgrade to Pi 5 from a Pi 4. So this guy, almost 5 years running with an original SIM card, mate. How's that? Everyone bags you online. Oh, yeah, the SIM card's going to fail. It's going to burn out. He's been running a Pi 4 with an SD card for almost 5 years. Eh?
Listen,
Isn't it just... Eh?
I'm with them. I have
Yeah.
many devices that are running off of cards, and people say corruptions. And sure, I'm big on backup and having a different route to go about it. But really, it depends on how much writing you're doing to the card and reading, right? Like if you have a Pi, most people's Pis just sit around. Maybe they're serving one application. So you're not writing a whole bunch to it. Maybe if you've got Plex and you're moving stuff around a lot. But yeah, SIM cards are more solid than you think. Certainly, I would love to see him move over to solid state. But Pi 5 to Pi 4 was a big jump, especially if you get the Pi 5 16 gigabyte model. That's a big jump in performance for sure. So, but at Pi 4s, I have Pi's 2s, 3s, 4s, running everything. The bulk of my home lab over here runs off of Pi 4s. So you don't need a whole lot for this stuff. And I think a lot of people get kind of wrapped around like that. power hungry Americans, right? But you can do a lot with very slim down devices.
So what are some other things? I see you got a whole batch of pies. I was looking at that drawing you were doing of your network. What are all those pies running?
So most of them are just running stock Pi OS
Hmm.
operating system, and I just throw Docker on them and Docker Compose typically. I have one that's running obviously my Home Assistant. I've got a couple that run file servers, torrent stacks. I have a couple that the drawing program I used on that. So just all my applications, but the core of them is PyOS with Docker and then Docker Compose on them so that I can manage it. And then typically I'll have Portainer. Now, in terms of if I'm using a NAS, those are kind of built in, which is another kind of nod towards using a NAS is you don't really have to set all that stuff up in most cases. So you can do a lot of one-click deploys and everything else. So it doesn't have to be as technical as having to do it from scratch like sometimes it is on the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, sounds like it. Johnny's saying that he's running Plex on his Synology. Are you running Plex, Hill?
That's a again, you'll kind of learn this about me. I've got a lot of
Mhm.
uh, political. I don't know if you want to call it political stances, but I don't like what Plex is doing,
Yeah.
and I don't like some of their. I worry about putting my data or passing my data through Plex.
Hmm.
So I'm actually using Jellyfin.
I was going to say, are
Nothing
you
wrong with
jellyfin? Yeah.
Plex. I recently went away from Plex. I was a
Yeah.
decade long. I'm a member, all that stuff.
Mhm.
But Plex has just made some scary decisions for me, and I decided to move away. That's happened probably within the last 6 months that I've migrated over to Jellyfin. But yeah, running a Plex off of most of these things. The big thing I can say is with that stuff, if you're doing a lot of transcoding, and are you familiar with that, Simon?
Yeah.
Transcoding?
You're taking the video file and preparing it to be served out to your Plex media player or whatever, right?
Yeah, you got it. So if it's in 4K, but you want to put it on your phone and it's dropping it down or up, depending, transcoding it and pushing it out, you want to look for Intel is really nice because most modern Intels have I forget the word name for it, but it's embedded on the processor itself that does transcoding really easily. So that's the one thing is if you're going to build a NAS or if you're looking at a NAS, it can be helpful if you do have something that's Intel based, if you're going to be pushing that transcoding a lot. Now, I'm not someone who does a lot of transcoding, so I don't worry about it too much. But I just thought that was a good point in case other folks out there are looking for this, especially if they're trying to use it as a media center.
So now I'm really interested to understand what you're doing because I've just started building up my own media sort of streaming and stuff myself. I just recently bought a Weem Ultra. I don't know if you've seen the Weem Ultra.
Nope.
It's a super cool little music streamer and deck. It's got music streamer, deck, and preamp all in a little box. It's even got a phono preamp and everything in there. So I'm just playing around, as I say, with this little SSD that I've connected to my router. And yeah, I've stuck some music files on there and I'm streaming that through to my Weem. And then I've got a really cool old vintage 80s hi-fi system that I've just set up. So I'm having a lot of fun with that, man. But what I'm really interested to hear your opinion on is, okay, obviously next level is streaming video. I haven't done that as yet. And then I think the next level, as you were talking about earlier, is where is Home Assistant going to come into this? Obviously, we've got Music Assistant. Do you think down the line we're going to get a video assistant as well?
Well, no, I think that's a great question. I mean, I think it's pretty logical that that might happen. Um, I'm on the fence again there too because that's a whole nother dynamic to push onto Home Assistant and video can be taxing. Video is crazy. So do I think that Home Assistant proper wants to get involved with that? Probably not. But is someone going to develop an add-on or whatever? Quite possibly. I've never really looked at that route. But again, I'm kind of someone that is a little bit like I know we always want to like throw everything at one system, right? I don't like that. It's kind of like my philosophy in investing. You want to diversify a little bit. So for me to have Home Assistant, I want it to do what it does well, and that's managing my automation. Of course, I would love it to be integrated more with the music, just because I now have a smart speaker that's on my own AI platform. But I worry that then we're also starting to talk about, okay, now are we looking at not being able to put it on a Raspberry Pi? Are we, you know what I mean? So, from my personal perspective, I hope they don't, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see some independent developer go that route for sure. The pieces are
Yeah.
there.
They did. I think that's, yeah. I mean, there is, I think, a Plex integration
There
already
is.
into Home Assistant. So yeah, as you say, it's probably likely to be that someone's going to take something like Jellyfin or whatever. Is there Jellyfin integration into Home Assistant?
I haven't checked yet. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
checked yet. I imagine there is. Actually, I want
Yeah.
to say that I've seen it because it's the
Mm.
same kind of thing that you can kind of have like the now playing on your dashboard and stuff, or who's streaming your stuff. So I'm pretty sure there's a comparable plugin for that kind of thing. Um, Plex. Listen, Plex is great, but it's kind of like you're going to get a lot of bells and whistles, but there's a lot of things that come with that, right? Very corporate-y feeling now versus like I still kind of like the homebrew, and that's why I like Home Assistant. It's like still kind of feels like homebrewy.
Totally. No, I'm just crazy about, yeah, Home Assistant for me is just the big thing is, so I had a look at another one. I've looked at a couple of other home automation systems. I run HomeKit on the side, but really the only reason I'm running HomeKit is to pull in my Matter over Thread devices at the moment, because I haven't managed to get Matter over Thread working properly with embedded in Home Assistant. But I've tried a few of these other Homey. I tried a while ago. I don't know if you've tried Homey Pro, but there's some more. They've got a great piece of hardware, man. It's got every single radio inside it. It's got a great opportunity, but once again, it's gone and been bought by LG. And the big thing about it is that doesn't have the community network support behind it. And that to me is the key thing with Home Assistant is I can literally want to do anything with Home Assistant. I just type Home Assistant and then the name of the brand I want to integrate, and someone's talking about it.
Yeah, that's what blew my mind when I got back into it because it's been only about 2 years since I got back into Home Assistant. And that was the problem early days, right? Early days, there wasn't much integration. You'd still have to use third-party, access points, which was a pain in the butt. And now I just noticed that like a lot of stuff directly integrates, right? And then once I started getting into Zigbee, well, that's when everything changed. But from my standpoint, yeah, you're right. The integration level, as far as a platform, and I work with a lot of these integrations in my day job. As far as a platform, there's not many things like this in the open source world that integrates with this many products. Being an open source product blows my mind in what they're able to do with it.
Yeah. So we've got a feedback here from Kiwi Chocoholic
Oh,
saying,
snap.
yep, Jellyfin is integrating into Home Assistant. So, yep, no surprise there. But yeah, it's, as you say, for me, the key thing with Home Assistant is, yeah, first of all, local, keep your own data. And second of all, is that whole thing of Nabucasa being open home foundation, no chance of being sold. And yeah, it's just unbelievable what these guys are doing. And that's why I'm so committed to working with the community and trying to add whatever I can, because it's just so much fun, man. I promise you, I'm meeting so many cool people like you all around the world that want to chat about Home Assistant. It's just phenomenal, eh?
Yeah, it really is nuts. And like you said, that's the way I found you. Is I was in my initial research phase saying, okay, I'm going to give this another shot and see what it's come because I just kept hearing such great things, especially with the integration level. And I'm so glad that I did find your channel because you were able to kind of fast track me into getting into it as well. And then even like your a few weeks ago you did these product reviews where there's like these weather stations and stuff. It's just nice to have a channel that I know and a person that I know that I can go to. I've got too many other things going on to keep abreast of it, to be honest with you. And that's how I think where we come in, right? In our respective niches is it's like, hey, people are busy. And if you can kind of be the subject matter expert in certain areas, I can look to you and say, I would love a weather station. Like I'm going to order that weather station actually.
Man, that weather station is unbelievable. I'm launching a video soon. I'll just show you. Um, this is I've just got I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the little display for this weather station. They just sent that to me last week. It
And
is so
that's,
cool. Little,
is that their UI?
Yeah, it's their UI sitting on it. So it's not their hardware. I think they've OEM'd the hardware, but they've put their software on it, and it is just so cool. It's a full color. You can put graphs on there. You can do all sorts of stuff. It's got a 95 page documentation. Look at this. Look at this for a manual. Look at that.
Holy
That's
cow.
all English. That's not 20 languages saying the same
That's
thing.
nuts.
Look at the content these guys have put together. This is what I like about this company. Hey, it's
Yeah,
so
that's
much
great.
detail. So I haven't even scratched the surface, but this for me is cool, man. EcoWit is, I love weather stations, man. I'm crazy about them. And I don't know if you've seen, Shelley's actually taken their weather station. I believe that they sent me one, and they put a Shelley chip inside of one of those.
That's the one I was talking about, I think, because
Yeah.
I adore Shelly. I've got the little Shelly temperature gauge just taped all
Yeah.
over the place, and I love the Shelly stuff. And in fact, the my home assistant dashboard, I have quite a few ones, and I have one for fishing, and I
Yeah.
have a bunch of CFS data I was able to get from gauges, and then also a lot of people. There's a website, can't remember it, but they open source basically their weather stations. So I was
Mm.
able to find quite a few of them near rivers that I fish. So this all
Oh,
gets displayed on my dashboard in Home Assistant. So before I go out the door, I know things like weather, barometric pressure, all the important things. I live in Montana, which is pretty rugged out here. So it's really important to stay abreast of that. And there's a lot of different like microclimates. I just love the fact that I can grab this public sensor data, even though I don't have it. But to be able to have something right outside my window and pull that in, that's just cool, man. I need
is
that
that
data
the
for
Weather
multiple
Underground
reasons.
you're talking about?
Yeah, Weather Underground API is one, but maybe it's from Weather Underground, but it's literally these folks that have weather stations like this that just post it to a server. Then you can grab and parse that information. I was surprised to be able to do it for fishing for the CFS, and our government for now at least allows us to access that for free, and it's just neat. Even as a developer, on the side of Home Assistant, I really like the application because they're straddling both worlds, right? You've got the software side, the automation, and then you can go in and custom develop YAML and everything else. And then also they have the hardware side. So if you're someone like me that plays in both of those arenas, it's a really cool space to be in.
That is awesome, man. So Kiwi Chocoholic saying, yes, I'm an EcoWit as well, but have everything local. Yeah, EcoWit is, man, it is just cool. The cool thing about EcoWit, it's communicating over 433 megahertz radio waves. So the distance, the range of those things is crazy, man. It's, I mean, you can have them, 50, 100 meters away and it's still going. And EcoWit have a great Discord channel as well. They've been really helpful. Yeah, there's so many cool manufacturers out there, huh?
There really is. And speaking of that, with the 466, like LoRaWAN, Meshtastic devices, that's cool that you can integrate those in as well because I don't know if you've messed with Meshtastic at all.
Not yet. I've seen
Um,
it. Yeah, is it good?
yeah, oh, it's great. You can build little sensors, and I can
Mm.
put them a couple miles away and get
Yeah.
that sensor information back, and then get it into Home Assistant. So
Oh,
it's really neat. Again, like a lot of the different APIs, and again, it just speaks to that open source nature of everything. Where if you really want to go after it, you know what you're doing. You can cobble together a lot of cool stuff. So that on top of the other integration points we were talking about with Zigbee, right? Do you use a lot of Zigbee stuff?
heaps of Zigbee. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got so many Zigbee devices. It's yeah. Look, my system is a real mess because I'm constantly testing new things and then either keeping them on my network or taking them off. So I've got so many dead sensors that are not connected anymore. But still, my Zigbee is fantastic. I have struggled with Zigbee over MQTT. I did set it up once or twice. I've got a video on it. It's changed recently, and for some reason, mine is not stable anymore. So I've gone back to ZHA. But I do love Zigbee. I have first thing about Zigbee is the actual battery consumption on Zigbee is unbelievably low. Like these sensors will run year or 2 years without ever needing the battery changed. And the mesh network, the way it builds up this mesh and communicates, Zigbee is fun, but there's a lot more to Zigbee that I think you need to dig down. and understand, where it messes with the Wi-Fi signals and making sure you're on the right channels. And yeah, there's a lot, a lot to do with Zigbee. I'm sure you've seen old Paul Hippert with his Go the Zigbee story.
Yes, 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 yes.
So yeah, Zigbee is cool, but yeah, I try everything. I've got LoRa. I've got a couple of Yo-Link LoRa sensors. They're pretty cool as well. Just door and window sensors that I've tried out just to test the LoRa protocol, which is also a great long range protocol.
Yes.
Just real good distance that those low data throughput but high distance and connectivity. Although I have been finding they've been falling off for some reason. So they're not far away either. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. Yeah, I need to look into that a bit further. But they do reset and connect again really
Yeah.
easily. But yeah, they do seem to be falling off for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I found that too with Zigbee as well. Like having to have a couple repeaters throughout the house. And I have these little Zigbee plugs that plug into the wall, and they can be outlets that so you don't lose an outlet, but they also serve as a repeater. And I found that's really helped me out, along with some of my Bluetooth repeaters. But I think you're right in terms of the protocols there, and that Home Assistant supports. I haven't messed with much Thread, and you brought to mind two things. One, you're saying that you have issues with Thread, or have
Yeah.
had issues with Thread in the past, and then two, that you've had issues. There was another issue that you had mentioned. I can't recall it right now. That was
No,
relevant.
no. It was Thread. So I was talking about the fact that I can do Thread, but only through HomeKit.
Okay.
So I've got smart blinds throughout my house, and they are all communicating on Thread. So I've had to connect them to my HomePod Mini and then share them from there via Matter through to Home Assistant. And then they're great. But I tried connecting up a number of different Zigbee coordinators and converting them over to Matter over Thread coordinators. You set them up, it works once, but then it falls over. I think it's still very much early days and beta sort of stuff with Home Assistant and Thread border routers.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing you mentioned too was, and I've heard a lot of rumblings. It seems like MQTT is a pain with Home Assistant.
Oh, no, not so
No?
much. Oh, it's Zigbee to MQTT.
Possibly. I've just heard a lot of rumblings. I didn't know if you
So
had an experience with that. Like, I just in terms of managing with MQTT, I mean, what is your use case for it? I always wonder what people's use case is for it.
So when it comes to MQTT, MQTT is rock solid. I don't have any problem with that. I did a video on it a while ago, MQTT, because I found it really confusing to set up, and I've tried to make it really basic, and people are loving that video. It's really cool because I've made it really simple. MQTT is great. I use it to communicate with certain sensors in my house. But Zigbee to MQTT, a lot of people love it and seem it's absolutely awesome, and you get a lot more entities coming through. But for some reason or other, my one just is not stable at all. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you've tried that.
No, not yet. And I was trying to come up with a use case as to why I would want to put like another layer between it. And I just don't have the need yet, I don't think. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people do is they push software when they don't need it, right? Home Assistant to me, so like for example, you get more entities exposed. Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you can have a temperature sensor. Like look at this little guy. This is a
Yeah.
Sonoff temperature sensor. Okay. So I might pull this through ZHA, and I might only get the temperature, and that'll be it. If I pull this in via Zigbee to MQTT, I'll probably get the battery status. I'll get a whole lot of other entities pulling through with it. So that is certainly the benefit of MQTT, is that it brings Zigbee to MQTT, brings more entities from each sensor.
Ah, yes. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a whole
Yeah.
lot of sense then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had experience. It sounds like you have. I got to check your video on that for sure, because it sounds like I'm missing out some of the juicy data points that we all love that come with these sensors if I'm not using MQTT. So that's good to know.
Yeah, unfortunately, my video is a little bit outdated now because they've changed the interface on Zigbee to MQTT. They've created a new graphical user interface for managing the connections. And so that's put my video out of date, and I haven't managed to get it working yet. So, yeah, for me, as I say, I don't really have a need for it either. I don't have to have those entities, and I'm quite happy using ZHA, works fine for me.
Yeah, and I gotta wonder like how that looks in the future with their. I need to really look at if they have a plan going forward. Like, do they do any type of roadmaps that you know of, like Home Assistant in particular, things that they're doing so or looking to do in the future?
Yep. So let me just share the screen. Let's just see here if we can make the screen go big. How do we change this one to be the big one? As I'm still trying to learn about this new. Okay, there we go. So if you look at Home Assistant here, all right, you'll see that they have got a, where is it now? So it's on their website somewhere or another. They do have a roadmap, and they've gone into quite a lot of detail. I don't know if you watch any of the Home Assistant community videos that they do. They do some really good videos, sort of live streams and stuff. And they've actually gone through this whole roadmap, but I'm not quite sure where you find it on their website. Integrations, blog, need help, documentation. Yeah, I don't know where you find the roadmap. Let's see if it's down here.
I mean,
No.
do you see them getting into their own hardware?
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you look at it, obviously the yellow, well, they had the blue first, then the
Yep.
yellow. I've got a yellow, then the green. So the yellow's being discontinued now. But if you look at their hardware, so they've just released a Z-Wave long range device. They've got the voice assistant. So yeah, I think that hardware is a big thing for them. Obviously, they pairing up with Seed
Yep.
to develop and sell the hardware. So I think hardware is a big thing for them. Obviously, it's bringing some good revenue. I mean, whenever they've launched hardware, it's like sold out overnight.
Yeah.
With the preview edition, they literally tried to have enough available, and literally they still sold out overnight. It was
Yep.
crazy. So they've created a very good platform and some really people that are really supporting them. So I think that the hardware for them is a big money spinner, and it's obviously the hardware is good. I mean, I haven't tried the green, but the feedback I'm getting from the green is it's really good. You know, you can buy the device, it's pre-flashed, you plug it in, and it goes.
Yeah.
And this is also one of their big things, from what I can understand, Hill, is that Home Assistant wants to become more friendly to the beginner user. They realize that, you know, they've got this core, hardcore group like us that's really into Home Assistant and we play around with it every day. But they've realized that if they want to grow past, I mean, they're in the millions of users already, but if they want to get to tens, hundreds of millions of users, they need to get out to that market that is using at the moment the Amazon devices, the Google devices. They need to make it simple. And I think this is the power of Home Assistant Green and the likes, where you can just plug the thing in and it works. I don't know if have you seen the new dashboards, the automated dashboards they've created now? So I'll
No.
show you quickly. This is the angle that they're going. Let's just share the screen again. I'll show you what they're planning to do. And I think this is definitely going to get them to that broader market. So if we go in here and we go to, I think I called it test or new. Okay, so have a look at this. This is a default dashboard in Home Assistant. So basically, you just say, create me this default dashboard. And what it's done, it's told me my commonly used devices. You can see how many unavailable devices I have. But it's made a summary of lights, for example. So just we've
Hmm.
got climate zones.
Simon, I'm
We've
not
got.
seeing it on the screen
Oh,
for
you're
some
not
reason.
seeing it.
No. I'm
Oh,
not
that's
sure
strange.
if chat is or not.
Can someone just let us know if you guys are seeing it on the screen? It could be that it's not showing on your side, for
Yeah, that's
example.
what I was thinking. Maybe it's just something
Yeah.
like that.
Sorry, man. I don't think it's
Oh, no
because as far
worries.
as I can see, they should be seeing it. So I'll just explain to you what's here. Basically, what it's done, Hill, it's created So the traditional default dashboard of Home Assistant was terrible. It
Yeah.
just put every entity. But now what they've done, they've created three sections. They've got commonly used, which is the devices that you've been used the most recently at the top. Then they've got summaries. So they've got a light summary. They've got a climate summary. When you click on that, it actually opens up all the lights in your house. It opens up and it breaks them down by area as well. So you can actually go to my bedroom and it's got all my devices grouped into there. I can click in there and open it up. It shows me my energy dashboard. It shows me my weather dashboard. This is the next level of what Home Assistant. Johnny's saying we're looking at the wrong screen for some reason. Oh, sorry guys. I really messed this up. I don't know why I can't show my screen. No one's able to see it. Okay. I'll have to check out the software and find out why let me try. I'll tell you what, I'll reshare this. Maybe this will help. We'll remove this. I'll kill this, stop the screen share, and I'll add a new screen share and I'll go directly to my Home Assistant installation. Oh, no, not that one. We're going to go there. Can you see it now?
I can't, but I don't know
You
if
still
that's,
can't.
yeah.
I wonder if the audience can see it. Maybe they can give us some feedback. But if they can, this is what I'm showing them is basically this new automated dashboard from Home Assistant that's got the commonly used, the summaries, the areas, and then you can click into, for example, your bathroom, and then it's got all of your devices within the bathroom. So let's see if I can go back and see. Unfortunately, I've only got one screen running, and that's why I can't see. No, it doesn't seem people can see it. Okay, anyway, apologies for that. But this is the angle that people are. Maybe if I add it to the scene, that'll
There it
work.
is. There it is.
There it is. Now you can see it. Oh, sweet. Let's make it big so that people can see it properly. Let's drag it in there. Okay, I'll see you. Can you see it now there,
Oh,
Hill?
yeah. That looks good.
Ah, cool. Sorry about that. Okay, so you see here you've got commonly used devices. Then you've got summaries. So you've got all your lights and broken down into areas. You've got climate. So there's my heating and cooling system. There's blinds. We've got media players.
Oh, wow.
You see, it's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah,
And then
for
we've got
sure.
areas. So we can say in the dining room, here's the devices in my dining room, for example.
Interesting.
In the toilet, you can see we've got a litter, PIR there. Under the house, it actually breaks it down into areas and you just click through from each area.
Oh, that's great.
Super cool, eh?
Yeah, for sure. That reminds me, have you seen some of the slick stuff I'm sure you have of the people who do their floor plans?
Oh,
Man, it's
mate.
sweet, right? They have the like 3D renderings. I was gonna go down that route, but I was like, man, this is like an 8-9 hour ordeal. I probably don't want to do it. But they look beautiful.
Oh, they look amazing, eh? I know I've checked some of those out, but I just don't have the patience for that.
Totally.
Unfortunately,
Yeah. No, but this is definitely looks better. It looks like they overhauled it all together.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
That's real good.
So that's the way I think that they're going to actually really build their user. If they can have a Home Assistant green, you can plug in, you can add devices, and then it builds that as your dashboard. And then further dashboards. I think that's the way it's going to really take off.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the success of other devices, right? They can't go wrong right now. I mean, I was lucky to get the preview early on, but I was on it, and I actually had quite a few people in my life that don't have much experience, got the
Mhm.
green, and like a day later, they're already up and running, right? With everything they're
Yeah.
telling me, but stuff that I don't even know, and I'm just like, this is crazy. So I like how, and when I got the preview edition. I
Mhm.
was ready. I sat down and I was like, okay, here's 4 hours of work, right? Here we go.
Mhm.
And I literally followed the 3 or 4 steps and I was up and running. It did take a little bit of getting used to figure out the local LLM stuff, but that was just more so user error than anything. But I was pleasantly surprised and was not expecting a company like this, to be honest with you, that's more towards like the home labbing space, to be this polished in the install as well. And that says a lot about their division, at least. So I'm very hopeful because if I know now from my friends and family that have set up the green, super simple, from my experience, the preview, super simple. We're headed in a good spot, I think.
Totally. Now we've got a good one here from Donald. Do you have a sensor on your toilet that tells you the seat temperature before you sit on? Beware, Donald. I mean, not Donald, but Hill, you're going to check out the automated toilets when you go to China, man.
Oh yeah, man. It's funny because I'm sure many men who have wives out there or girlfriends, I've often thought about that, right? How easy it would be to have a toilet seat on an actuator and a camera that sees that you're a guy and it lifts it up and it sees. But then I was like, the invasion seat, no one wants to see your toilet habits. But it recently did release a camera. I caught a feed on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like tech is moving into the bathroom a little bit.
Exactly. Okay, let's see the next one. We've got Johnny. My pal paid a guy on Fiverr like
Oh
$2,000 for his
my.
3D floor plan based dashboard, fully animated. How's that?
That's really cool, man.
That
That
must be
goes to show
some,
you
yeah.
how much time it takes.
That goes to show you, man.
Yeah.
$2,000 to create a
That's a,
dashboard.
yeah.
Man.
But it's beautiful. I mean, just like the folks that have the displays and stuff built into their
Mhm.
walls, using an iPad and everything else and making it flush with the wall. I love this part of it too, just perusing some of the forums and seeing what people are coming up with and the different dashboards. Not only that, it's the different pieces of hardware. I mean, now with Seed Studio and a bunch of them making these
Mhm.
integrated displays with ESP32s, like it is custom made for beautiful dashboards. So yeah, I really enjoyed that part of it too. Being the maker is just what people are coming up with.
Oh man, the maker community. I don't know if you've checked out much of the Apollo guys stuff, Apollo Automations.
No,
Those guys have got a cool maker community, man. I tell you, you should check out Apollo. Made some really cool little devices,
yeah,
and just it's such a there's such an audience. So I'm actually presenting on Tuesday night to a local group of makers
cool.
who are developing ESP32. I'll show you. This is one of the devices from the guy that actually invited me along to the meeting. So this is a real super simple device. It's an ESP32 flashed with ESP Home, and it's got a temperature sensor on it linked up. You can plug it in and out. And what this is, it's called a Kiwi warmer. Okay. So all this is, it's a smart plug. But what's nice about this, because I don't know about you, but I'm really wary of plugging a heater of 2,000 watts into a normal smart plug. But this smart plug is actually tested and designed for running with a heater. Okay. So this is just a real simple device. It's basically a thermostatically control of your heater, but that can then pull into Home Assistant. So I'm going to go and present to these guys on Tuesday night and just have a chat with them. Just
Wicked.
makers, man, they're doing some cool stuff, eh?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Everywhere you turn, it's like a new thing pops up, and again, the big push now is the AI integration, right?
Yeah.
It's like how much AI can we put at everything? It's kind of like a bubble, right, at the moment, right? It's just like
Mm.
putting an AI. It's like a Rube Goldberg machine. Just throw AI at it for no reason. It's a little
Yeah.
overdone, but that's what it takes, man. Is I think it takes is people out there. Um, there's someone out there right now that's getting ready to invent the next best thing, and it's not someone that works for Google, it's not someone that works for Microsoft, it's some guy or gal or they in their garage and just tinkering. And I
Yeah.
know that's kind of puts me at ease when I'm tinkering, is what I call it. And it's just a good thing that we still have this type of movement here in the United States. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, in the world, right?
Yeah.
That's so silly of me to say the United States, but in the world, that everyone's out there just doing their own things, and now we have all this great products available to us. It's like, I mean, catch YouTubes where they're refining their own gasoline from plastics. They're making like small crazy devices, and I'm blown away just by the creativity of folks all around the world.
It is truly amazing, eh? And what's interesting is the community supports these guys, eh? I mean, the guys from Apollo, I spoke to them. I've been dealing with them for over a year now, and they were sort of three guys that kicked off in Kentucky, and they literally started out of the garage, and they were making ESP32 based sensors with a 3D printer. They sold like 70,000 sensors in the first year. Can you believe it?
Nuts! It's so nuts. Yeah, every day I'm reminding of that, like how much technology we have at our fingertips that, even a year or two ago we didn't. And it's just a matter of time. And it's funny because even like seeds reaching out, and what this Maker Fair is all about that. Like, how are we
Mm.
going to effectively harness and use AI, and how are we as this group going to push the envelope a little bit? And what I see coming out of it, hopefully, is a lot of devices that industry overlooks. I think there's huge potential for disabled people with AI.
Mm.
And I can't stand that there's not many people, because there's not much money in it. So there's not many people looking at, if I'm visually impaired, how can these glasses help me, for example?
Yeah, totally.
So there's a whole realm there that I think will, the quality of life can really, it can make people's quality of life a lot better by instituting some type of AI. I just hope there's people out there that are still looking at that versus the almighty dollar.
Yeah, this is always the question, isn't it? It's always that balance of, are you doing it for the right reasons or not? But what I just like about the world today, with all of us being connected, is the possibilities to do your own thing. Like I've always wanted to do something on my own, but I never had the opportunity until I started this YouTube thing. I never thought of a business that would be, yeah, expandable and cool, that I can just do on my own. I don't want to employ people. I don't want to have hassles. I just want to do something that I'm really going to enjoy. And I found this just amazing, to be able to actually go out there and connect with people right around the world and somehow hopefully help in some way.
Yeah, and especially in our spaces, right? Like, we're just
Yeah.
passing on knowledge, and I'm sure you feel the way I do. Listen, I'm just as much as a student as I'm a teacher, and I learn so much from my audience, and people tell me tips and tricks. It's a two-way street. I'm just the talking head. I mean, me personally, I never thought I'd be a YouTuber, but here we are, and it's been a beautiful thing because of that community. That's what makes YouTube, still to this day, it's so different than Facebook and everything else. Like, I get nothing but love from my audience, and even undeservedly at times, they just have my
Nah.
back. You know what I mean? And that's what I've found with this community and meeting folks like you. This just would not happen. Would you and I have crossed paths without the
Ah,
internet? No, never.
never
Um,
ever.
so it opens doors. It's a comfort feeling for me now, and it's where I spend most of my time, is here in this community versus anywhere else. In fact, I don't engage anywhere else. It's just YouTube. That's how much I think of people here. They just, maybe I'm just naive. Maybe, I've had the remarks and the low blows, but
We
if
all
they're
have.
yeah, and if they're good enough, I like them. It makes me laugh, right? I had the best one was like, I don't always take advice, but when I do, I take
Yeah.
it from the homeless reviewer. I was like, okay, great, that sounds right.
Is that what they're calling you, mate?
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, I don't, this guy looks like a pro." I was like, "All right, bro. I could show you some people that straight up live like homeless people that are millionaires, that are tech
Yeah,
geniuses."
exactly.
But nonetheless,
So Donald is saying it gives the thumbs up to Musk for his brain interface. Man, how crazy is that, eh? Now that's really making a difference for people, eh?
it really is. And I mean, just now seeing all the stuff they're doing with people that are paraplegics, and
Mm,
I was heavily involved in the action sports world, so
mm,
this is very near and dear to my heart.
mm.
It is nice to see some folks going after this stuff, and there are some philanthropists and some great people out there that are pursuing it. And as we know, Musk is very mixed opinion, I would say.
Mm, mm.
But at the end of the day, if that part, or at least that division, is helping folks, and I don't know if you saw even the stuff now that like the new Meta glasses, and some of
Yeah.
the Neuralink stuff they're doing, and yeah, it's at some point we're gonna get to where your thought processes can then be kind of exported elsewhere. It's gonna be an interesting new world for sure.
Oh, I know, man. It's going to be crazy, eh? Well, Hill, this has been an absolutely awesome time with you today.
Yeah,
It's been really great to have you on the show. And
you too, mate.
I'm just reaching out to the audience if they've got any more questions they want to ask Hill. And then, yeah, just go and check out his channel. It's just Hill Phantom, eh, your channel.
Yep, that's it. Yep,
Yep. So just type in Hill, HILL, Phantom, PHANTOM.
that's it.
That right? And yeah,
Yes,
he's
sir.
doing some. You've got quite a mix there, eh? You've got action cams, you've got home labbing, you've got home assistant. What else you got in there?
Starlink. I do the
Yeah,
space news.
yeah.
YouTube does not like me. I'm way outside of any type of niche. I'm like, they're like, "What's your niche?" I said, "Technology," and they said that's not going to work. But I just do what I feel like. To be honest with you, I have a couple different areas that I stay in, but
Mm,
yeah, mainly just the tech umbrella. I love cameras, and people get. It's funny. My whole life runs around seasons, and it's no
mm,
different in my YouTube channel. Right now, we're in action camera launch season, so I'm
mm.
doing action cameras, but I'll be back into home assistant, into embedded electronics, and then every once in a while I throw in a fishing video that I do. So you never
Wow.
know. And I'm very fortunate enough that this is still very much a hobby for me. So
Yeah, me
I
too.
haven't really had to sell out and chill for a lot of folks, and I definitely haven't
Oh,
had to
man.
change my creativity. I just kind of am lucky that I have some people that will stay with me. That if I wake up and say, "Hey, I'm going on a huge, crazy adventure. I'm going to document this." My audience at least tolerates me touching grass every now and again.
Man, that whole shilling thing, yeah, I think we've all seen a couple of people that, yeah, unfortunately they give up their day job and suddenly, yeah, man, they sell out and all you're just seeing is sponsored videos and yeah, that's one thing I think there's a real problem with. I mean, I've seen you recently did a negative review on that action cam, which was overheating. I've just recently done a bit of a negative review. I mean, I don't like to bash anyone, but yeah, I just want to be honest with my audience. And when I do get something that I don't feel is a good fit, yeah, I just feel I have to be honest with people and tell them what's going on because yeah, people are spending hard-earned money on stuff, and unfortunately, not everyone is scrupulous out there.
I
So
agree. I agree, and it's hopefully that will change, right? And and
yeah.
and I know why people do it. I mean, to go full time, you have to take
Mm,
sponsorships. You have to do this. It's really a really
mm,
bad situation. But I do think that we, like you're saying, we have this fiduciary responsibility to our audience, right? That I hold dear, and I know you do.
mm.
Listen, if it's trash, I'm going to tell you it's trash.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of brands say no to me because I'll come out and say, look, I'm going to tell you, I'm negatives and positives. I do not believe any product's perfect. And to be honest with you, if they say no, my product's perfect, I run the other way.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
I've been involved in this way too long on the professional side to know that there's always room for improvement. That's for certain.
Oh, totally. I mean, this is the thing. Sometimes they got a great bit of hardware and the software leaves a lot to be desired. Sometimes the other way around. But yeah, there's some good players out there. And
Great.
I really like some of the people that I'm dealing with because I feel I can really trust that they're putting out good quality devices. And if there are issues, that they're actually going to stand by the product and sort it out with good customer service and
Yep.
things like that. So yeah, I'm with you 100% there. I'm all about doing the right thing, and yeah, I mean, I would love to go full time as well, but my idea of going full time would be to have a second channel where I would probably go more for the revenue side of things. I would never want to actually affect this channel that I've got because I feel that it's really important when you're reviewing products to be really, really upfront with people.
Yeah, it builds that trust too, right? Like I don't think I would have had as many followers if I didn't come out from jump being honest with folks. And that goes with anything. I mean, that goes with the features inside of a software package, right? Like you should have the freedom to talk trash. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Johnny's saying just do better help and wait for the comment. I
Oh goodness, I do need some better help. That's so crazy.
think we all
And
do, but
it's been the craziest job. I mean, job, right? Hobby I've
yeah,
ever had, right? It really has.
yeah.
And I've been in high pressure jobs. I was an athlete in college, and
Wow.
it just like the YouTube thing, man.
Mm.
It doesn't stop, as you know, and we're constantly thinking about it. I'm sure even you during your day job, it's like in the back of
Yeah.
your head, you're like, "What's the next video? Oh, I found out this cool thing. I need to let my audience know." And that I can't tell you how many times I'm like, I just want to jump on and talk because I found something really cool, and I'm
Yeah.
freaking out and vibrating. And then I'm like, well, I can't put out like a minute or two video. I have to like do this whole spiel. But at the end of the day, I want to be like, hey, run here. It's cheap. Go buy it right now. Um, so
Are you not doing
it's a
shorts? Are you not doing shorts?
I do them here and there, but it's so I don't know. I like the long form, I guess.
Yeah.
Shorts aren't. I do get a little bit of money, and I get
Yeah.
no money off of shorts, but I get a little
No.
money off of longs, right? So shorts, just if you're not getting millions of views, and I'm not really a big fan of the brain rot,
Mm.
so I don't really want to contribute to a lot of that fast-paced stuff. I'd rather do what me and you are doing, is find a cool group of people and learn together, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
build a
It was,
community, man. So
so what about lives? Are you sold on doing lives now after you've joined me on this one?
honestly, I was nervous to come on here. I was like, I've
Come
never
on,
done a
man.
live.
You're such a cool
Oh
dude.
man, no, I was nervous. I was like, I don't know how this rolls, but I was honored that you asked me on, man. I've been
Oh,
watching you
thank
for
you,
a
man.
while, and I was like, this is a great opportunity to see what it's like on the fly like this. Because I try to catch all of yours, and
Mhm.
I really
Oh,
love your
thank you.
shows, and I'm always envious of people that can get up there and do what you do. So, will I do one? Maybe, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of pressure in a way. I don't
The
know.
first the first one is super scary, but after that, man, it's a lot of fun. Hey, like I just didn't love this back chat with the audience because we just back and forth, back and forth. To me, this is the ultimate
Yeah.
enjoyment for me is just sitting here, feeling relaxed, having a chat with my audience, having guests on like yourselves. And honestly, mate, I'm thrilled to have you on my channel, mate. When I first came across you, I was like, man, this guy's awesome. You know, you're doing all this cool stuff. I mean, it's yeah, I'm floored by what you're doing. I think you and all your knowledge around, you know, the sort of home labbing and all that. I can learn so much from you, mate. And I think that's what it is. We can all learn from each other, eh?
And that's the beauty of YouTube, man. I honestly believe that. Like I've learned so much from YouTube. I truly believe like you could get pretty close to solving the cold fusion problem on YouTube. You really can. You can teach yourself anything, and this platform has been a benefit to me on a personal level, but also on a professional level. Like if I need to know how to do something with code or whatever, there's always someone on YouTube. And I come from the core that, sure, you and I know a lot, and I'm sure you feel this way too. But there's a whole lot of people that know a lot more than us, right? That maybe just don't have a YouTube channel or whatever. But these are people that I look to, and I still look towards YouTube for everything, really. And I hate to glaze up YouTube so much, but again, it's just one of these places that is like a last bastion where you can truly get, like, in most cases, the raw truth about stuff. And I appreciate a lot of creators that are like us that have held themselves accountable to that and to their audience, right? Because you and I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for the audience. They're super rad, right? I mean, here, even Kiwi, thank you, putting up my channel, right? Like, just rad people, man. I appreciate you, chocolate or Kiwi chocoholic. Thanks, bruh.
Yeah, man, it's so cool. I just honestly, for me, live streaming since when I started it, man, I was just so super nervous. So you like switch on your camera and you like set it all up, and it's a learning curve, man. It's next level, but it's a lot of fun. Like it's just so cool actually having this live feedback from people, and
Yeah.
like literally, as you say, you do get the odd haters in your YouTube channel feed, on your videos, but I've yet to have one person give me hassles on a live stream for
Oh,
some
that's
reason or other.
awesome.
Whoever comes on live, they're just so supportive, and it's just so much fun, man. I tell you, I've done heaps of them now, and I haven't been doing many recently, but I've just got back into it, and I've done two in a row, 2 days in a row, and just I could hang out every day on live, man. I reckon.
Yeah.
It's just,
No, I definitely like the form factor. It's kind of the future, right? Or at least it's huge
yeah.
right now. I mean, now they're saying kids. I used to be a high school teacher, and
Oh
some of the
yeah.
kids now are saying, like, it used to be, I'm going to be an NFL football player. I'm going to be a
Mm.
a movie star. Now it's like I don't even want to play sports because I want to become a streamer, right? So the industry is just crazy, and I think we're lucky because we have such a great community in terms of the spaces we're in, right? I mean, these are people that recognize and deal with open source stuff. So they deal with
Mm.
things that aren't exactly perfect, right?
Yeah.
So they're forgiving and they're willing to put up with stuff versus like if we did current events or something, come on, man, or politics, we would be roasted alive.
Johnny's saying now go get a free U Green NAS. Do you have any connections at U Green there, Hill?
I do. I got a free NAS. It's
Oh,
over
you
here.
did.
They sent me one.
Oh
And
man.
it was the same way. I was like, at first I was like, no, and here's my rider, right? And
Yeah.
usually it chases them away when they see
Yeah.
my rider. But they stood by their product. That's why I say Ugreen might be a good way to go because
Yeah.
typically if they don't run away after seeing my contract, it means that they're pretty certain their product's good, I think. And listen, I still am, and I said it in my video on a Ugreen that I reviewed. I honestly think if you can, you should build your own. Um,
Mm.
and I know you Green's not going to hear that, but the experience that comes with it, and just getting your hands dirty a little bit. There's something special about that.
Donald is saying to me, yeah, he's got a cheeky one. I need to get a 40-inch monitor in front of me. No glasses needed. Works for me, he says. I know this glasses thing is a pain. I've got a teleprompter here that you can pull the screen into, but then it's too
Oh yeah,
tiny. So I need to somehow get a big screen or something now with all the comments, so I don't have to
is
put my
that
glasses on.
Elgato?
Yeah, I've got the
Yeah,
Elgato,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's the original one. It's not the big one.
Oh, right on. Cool. It's the smaller one.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
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 I've got
yeah.
one as well. I like them. It's nice that you can put it up there
Yeah,
and see, it's like a third screen, right? Like
it is.
it's pretty
Yeah.
neat the stuff you can do. But that brings up the whole thing too. Like people glance around this too. Like your stuff looks great. Like your studio
Oh,
and everything
thank you.
looks great. But how much time did you have to? I know me personally, it's still ongoing, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to become camera experts. We have to become sound experts. We have to do all these things, and that's why you see so many channels. Like, could I be a YouTube coach? Yeah, probably, right? Because we all have to do this, and
Yeah.
luckily we're tech people, and it comes easy. But a lot of people don't understand that part of it either.
Oh, I know. I mean, I'm looking at your channel. Your studio looks even more amazing, mate. It looks incredible, eh? You got
No,
heaps of stuff there.
yeah, I got too much stuff. Probably they would say it distracts people, but yeah, it's my comfort level, man. I spend most of my time here in this little cage.
I like having so before I was just I had a plain, like a photographic paper background, and I really wanted to build something like this. And
Looks
then there's
cool.
another guy I watched, Cheap Audio Guy, and he's got a very similar sort of background, like heaps of gear and that in the background. And I thought, yeah, so I just went and bought these cheap shelves and stuck some LED stuff on there, and yeah, I
Looks
love it, eh?
great. It looks great. Okay, I have to nerd out, and then I'll let you go because you probably want to get back to your show and your audience. But what camera are you shooting on?
I've got a Sony ZV-E10.
That's what I shoot on as well.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
cool camera, eh? I mean, I knew nothing about cameras, but
yeah. I
everyone
think
was
it's a
saying
go-to.
ZV-E10.
Yeah, it's a go-to. I think it's one of the best YouTube cameras you can get for studio situations like this.
Yeah.
And I mean, the original one you can pick up, used for 500 American, 600
Mm.
American. That's pretty good. Says up when you look up. How about
How
your
do you
audience?
automate your glasses when the lens flips up when you look up?
You
That'd be a
might
good one, eh?
you might have a winner there, man, for sure,
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah. I
sure.
reckon. I reckon.
Well,
I'll tell you
Simon,
one.
go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, you go ahead.
No, I was
I
just
don't
gonna
want to
say
talk over you.
I was gonna let you get back to your show, let you get back to your audience. I don't want to take up more of your time here, and just I wanted to thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you so much, Hill. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, mate. And yeah, it'd be great to have you on again. I've really enjoyed it. And please, I'm looking forward to an awesome video you're going to make in China, telling
Oh
us
yeah,
about how you'll catch up with C Day and that conference you're going to
I'm gonna reach out to you. Actually, how long ago were you in Shenzhen?
December last year.
Okay, if you don't mind, can I email
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
for
great.
sure, sure.
Because
Only a pleasure, mate.
I'm a mountain man from Montana. I'm going to a big city. I'll go sleep with a grizzly bear and a wolf. But you put me in a big city, boy, I'm scared. And it's like cashless. I've got a lot of questions for you, Simon.
Cashless, not much English, but you'll be good. Yeah, no, only a pleasure to give you some advice there, man.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks to your audience as well. Have a good one, everybody. I appreciate you.
Goodbye, Hill.
See ya.
Awesome. I hope everyone enjoyed having Hill on board today. I've just loved it. He's a super cool dude. And yeah, it's an amazing guy. And he's off to China to go meet with Seed Studio, learn all about the AR stuff and things going on there. I mean, It's a lot of fun, man. I tell you, we are so lucky, people like Hill and myself, to be involved in this community and have an amazing audience like you all out there that are keen to jump on these live streams. And yeah, it's been a real pleasure again today. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined in the live stream today. Yeah, everyone just gets better, more fun, and yeah, have a super week and look forward to chatting you all again soon. Be blessed, everyone. Keep safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.